Alright folks, we are back out again with the F1 1960s. These are mainly Lotus 44s. These guys are making their way out for qualifying. Some desperate measures definitely necessary. Time board, 1 valve lap. That seemed to be Fought Sonic. He's making his way up the hill. Expect a little bit there. Purple sector 1 though. Well, the person to watch from earlier definitely had to go to Jack Pro or to Perf. And I'm not sure where Perf is. I'm gonna read myself. Alright, now we can actually watch Perf, whom seemed to definitely be one of the top drivers. Look at that, Purple Sector 1. That is fastest routes mod, I'd say. I swear, Perf wins this. He's clean swept practically every road course event. The only thing left would be the Group C event, which he has not yet been invited to, but he easily could find himself to, if you ask me. I mean, that'll be interesting as he goes quick time with a 47.943. That would have been a Rotsmod quick time just last year, and this year the track is a little faster, and these cars are quick. They're not quite the quickest, not by far, but they are certainly very quick. You see Blue Sonic Gem with a 49.181. Looking at a Blue Gen right there in a blue car. As there's 12 minutes left in the session now, as he just crossed over. Let's see Jack for hiding time side. He did get a 53, although East actually even faster. Blue Gen faster. Gen faster than Blue Gen. There's a certain blue car behind him. I'm going to try to figure out who's who in a little bit. So there's this yellow car. East is the orange. Jack Pro is the John Deere, as we like to nickname it, although that's a classic Lotus scheme. Performance in the black car. Gen is in the white one. Blue Gen is in the blue one. Fought Sonic is in the pink one. Madme is in the red one, and then finally Ryo is in the cyan colored one. So looking at Jack Pro, he goes across the line. Not going to be any sort of valve lap time. Performance engineer with a solid looking lap coming up over through the FRWC straight into the last set of kinks. He gets a little loose. This looks like a good exit. It's not going to be quick enough for another quick time. That was still a fairly quick looking time. I don't think it's been the fastest of the day though. And Performance Engineer, Purple Sector 1 once again. He's on a roll. So is Jack Pro. Couple second. Alright, we're back where it is. Good looking Sector 2 for Performance Engineer. Just as he goes across to the last few turns. Now the front straightaway, he goes quick time once again. I believe that is indeed the fastest time of the day. Look at that save. It's hard to see under the cover of the timing board, but we do got to check those times. Oh! Would not have been a very pretty sight had this been real life. There's Netta with a decent looking sector there on his first sector. Coming to the chicane. As she comes out, It could be better, but this might be a possible improvement for her. As she comes across through the line, does improve, not enough to move up the spot. Blue Sonic Gem with a decent looking sector 1. He's out of the carousel, coming into the hairpin. Seems to have a little bit of lag in him, no problem whatsoever though. We're going to see what his next sector looks like. That's a good looking sector 2. He's now going through the chicane with 9 minutes to go. We've just about broke the 10-minute mark. About a lap ago. These last few turns goes really close to the tires. It's on the limits as much as it can be, but does not improve. Jen catching up to Fox Sonic in the pink car. He's made himself invisible. I believe he wants to be in first person. There's a little bit of a thing with the first person camera. I probably could have adjusted that, but that's okay. Blue Sonic Gen, another good looking sector 1. As Jack Bros improved his laps, and you see that sector looks good for him. We'll watch him in just a second. He's just still going through the chicanes. Now to the last set of S's, let's see what he can get up with his hands. And it does not improve again. Fox Sonic does improve, not enough to buy anybody. As you can see Jack Pro, the purple sector 2. Let's get to Jack Pro. Makes his way through the chicane. And now through the last little kink here. A little bit of slide action, and he's going to move up to 3rd place. Is there any other type of action going on? Looking at performance, does not improve. Still would have been a quick time had he set that lap. Overtaken by Harrison for a little bit there. Seeming to back off. Jack's car having some weird issues. There's Jen and Aaron still going right at. Just see down the hill. That is Uriah with a decent looking sector 1. Might be able to find himself somewhere better. There's a little loose. Performance engineer will probably not improve this lap. Goes purple on the sector 3 though, so he might still have something in it. But this guy literally clean sweeps literally everything on track loans this week. I might give this man an award. I don't think he'll win the dirt over race. I don't think he's interested in that, but if he wants to do the Group C race, I'd love to see what this guy could do against some of the road racing legends. That's a purple sector 1 now for him. What's the sector 2? Sector 2 could be a little bit better, so we'll have to see what this outcome is overall. And that's a little loose there. I probably cut off a little time there. Yep. As he does a little bit of like a bunny hop over the sausage curbs on turn 1. Still a decent looking sector 1. We're approaching 5 minutes. Just dropped by 6. One of the things I'd like to mention about these cars is that they seem to have some sort of weird issue where they're inconsistent. Like when you get into them, whatever the reason is, they seem to have different setups, and I'm not sure how this would affect everyone else, but Perf seems to handle it just fine. It could be either good or bad when this happens. It's not under my control. As he goes quick time again. Didn't even look like he's going to do anything, but consistency beats all. That's a 47.010. I wouldn't be surprised if he managed to find himself making his way over to a 46, a sub 47 in a freaking old F1 car. Would you imagine that? Alright, looking at him, Blue Sonic Gen, green sector 1. We'll have to watch him a bit as I think Performance just junked his lap. We're going to watch Blue. Blue goes wide. There's got to be a lot of cuts, 90 cuts. Look at Ayers now with 3,000. Blue Gen is not going to get a bad lap. His lap would not have improved anyways. Performance Engineer, another 9-second sector 1. As he goes through the carousel, could anything come out of this? I do not know. So far, the qualifying has looked relatively close. As you can now see, Performance going down the hill into the chicane. Excuse me. Coming into the chicane and out of it now. Sector 2 was purple. He might just about have what it takes to go sub 47. That did not look like it was the best thing for him. It was not going to help. You see Jack Pro PC right behind. Going through the chicane. Purple sector 1, or sector 2, excuse me. Sector 1, not the best, but this could allow him to move up to second place. He's on home territory with his own series. He will improve, not enough to move up a spot though. Only about half a tenth, I'd say, would separate him from Blue. As we're gonna watch from Blue Gen. Yeah. He just got out of the carousel, coming down to the hairpin. There's Netta. Green sector 1. It's sub 10, so that'll be interesting to watch. Blue Gen Enderthalz. So we're gonna watch Arisnetta making her way down the hill. Good looking sector 2, not the best. Might make her way up though to a sub 50. That could have been a cut for her. Have to see as this lap finishes up. Things are very hard to control. She does move off one spot. Finally does get under the 50-second range. As Blue Sonic Gen potentially up for another heater. I don't think it'd be enough to challenge Performance. But there might be something. There's a little wide through the chicane. It's a little airborne on the curb too. Just a little bit bowing through here, nothing really changing. There's Netta. That's not going to be something, I think. So far everything's been stabilized. We're going to look at Perf once again. Let's see what he does. I'm going to do chicane. He's got a sector 1, so we're just going to hang around a little bit through this. As Jack and Ayers now starting new laps. Ayers already kind of funking this lap, though Jack might be able to do something. Jack has been aggressive all day trying to get into those curbs, run every little bit of track he can. But those curbs do also get you very loose, and maybe that might not be the most beneficial lean in these cars. Jack Pro with a decent looking sector 2. Could be a little better, but was not bad. Maybe we'll see him out there. That's got to be a cut. He's trying to get a cut. And Jack Pro junks his lap. I'd say that was poetic justice. After cutting, it looks like the timer is just about done. I don't know who the leader of the whole pack might be. Maybe like Perf. Just shuffle over. I might actually end up being the pace car driver. There's only 25 seconds left on the clock. Purpose is definitely on this final lap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. These two will make it through. 3, 2, 1. And it is done. pacing. So look at the results of that. Your pole position would go to Performance Engineer Blue Sonic Jen in second of the perf with a time that would put some Ratsmod drivers to shame. Blue Sonic Jen in second with a 48-second lap, literally an entire second behind from perf. Jack Pro in third, just a little bit off of Blue's pace. Jen Wolfie with 48.931. And here's Neto with the final people with a sub 50 second lap. And then we have Ryo, East, Flat Sonic, and then Matt's, you know. On a performance engineer to get to the pole. Perf in the pit lane currently. So you can see the blindness based off of the moment they go to here, not here. rather grippy. Cars, and it is lights out in the way. Drivers are going up to the line. We see 3 wide action coming up to turn 1. Perf already to the point. You can see Blue Sergeant right behind, and in 3rd place it looks like that might be Fought Sonic, or that could be Ryo. Jack Pro in 4th, boundary with theirs. There appears to be a little bit of spikiness. That's okay. That is suspect that happens. Meanwhile, for the front, for the point, it is going to be between Blue Sergeant and Perf, making the way up to the hairpin side by side. Now coming through the hairpin, Blue to the inside, makes the move. You can see battles going out behind. Drivers now making their way into the chicane. You can see Jack probably in 3rd. Gets a little loose. He's going to lose that spot. Once to Ryo. How long is that going to last? We do not know. Perf still in 2nd place. Jack Pro back to 3rd as we see at the lead. Once again, Perf. We're going to go back and watch this one accordingly as East makes its way to the pit lane. I really set a hit limiter, that's okay. Back up to the front where we were watching, and Perf to the lead, I believe. And let's see what happened with Blue. Blue back by a little bit of a margin. Must have gotten very loose while I was looking at East. And you can see East there 1 lap down after doing a little bit of a repair to his car. Hopefully won't get in the way of the leaders too much. See another guy heading to the pits. Back to where we were with the action. My apologies. You can see Perf now lapping Matt's getting his car repaired. Having some issues. You can see Perf getting loose. And that allows Blue Jet to slide up a little bit, just inch by inch. You can see Jack Pro not too far behind either. Performance engineer seemingly at least as it's looking, could be en route to potentially win 3 in a row, but maybe Blue Jet might have something to do to stop him from doing that. Blue Jet seems to struggle a little bit. He goes wide. That was a mildly costly mistake there, I'd say. We're gonna go watch like this. Watching over at East. He's a little bit back. Oh, sorry. Looking back at Perf, he's all the way up there. And Blue Gen seemingly starting to have at his tail Jack Pro PC. Look at that. That little wall tap might have cost him a little bit of time. Clearly seen more drivers in the back though. as it's another wide moment for Jack Crow. See, there's been an issue we noticed with that track. When you go wide in that corner, for whatever reason, at least in these cars, I don't think it's had any issues in any other series. But with these cars, for whatever reason it may seem, they seem to get a lot of cuts. Here's now just minor home business. East 951 will back off of a spot. Jen confidently in fourth by a decent margin, although we're going to watch back up from the front. You can see another potential lap car coming up. That might just about be Sonic. As it seems like people so far spread out a little bit. That's Sonic being one lap down. Actually, that's Matt. That's Matt's split himself out. A little bit of tough luck for the guy. But I'd say Blue's probably a little closer to Perf than Jack Crow is, but the three of them still are all relatively within close proximity of each other. That I have to host this kind of. I'm not the host. I'm not the guy that runs the league, but I have to kind of co-host it per se. As Blue Gen spins out, allowing Jack Crow to get by for second. Still on the podium by a pretty good gap there. You can see Jen is still at least 6 seconds back. Performance engineer going to make his way by another car. Real ignition. I've never seen that really until this week. The looking lag is a little bit there, but not too bad. Oh, and that's Fox off the track. Blue Gen looking to be in a position of catching him. As Perf so far has set a 47-second lap. That's as good as he's going to get so far. There's Fox with there's Matt's with another issue. Call him Mats. It's new drivers, I tell you. We're going to continue on though. As you can see, Blue Gen's trying to get a little bit of heat packing up for Jack Crow here. Little by little, he's making up ground. Into the final turn they go. Jack Crow only about half second behind. Tops the wall. Blue Gen goes side by side. Up Faux Rouge and over the crest, and your new second place driver is now Blue Gen. Although maybe Jack Crow doesn't want to quite stay in there. Maybe he wants to stay in his second place route, or maybe I think what he prefers more than likely is to win the darn thing. But you might as well get second. This Blue Gen will slide by. He tries to make a move, but tap the wall a little bit. That's not going to get him in the right direction of where he wants to be. There's Netta also battling it out with the East. Actually, East not on the same lap as her. This Blue Sonic Gen lost a little ground on, I'd say a little bit on the ground on the last turn there. I think there might be a chance Jack Crow's doing some sort of rebound. As Jack Crow gets back into second place. I sorry that I missed out a little bit. I was a little distracted. Blue Gen still at the point, just about side by side, coming up to the chicane. And I'd say that Jack Crow's temporarily ran out of the way. There's Mats once again, another lap down. And they go 3 wide, trying to get by him, 3 abreast nearly. As you can see, Matt struggling with his car. Blue Gen getting ground just about once more, side by side, up for Rouge. And once again, Blue Gen gets the second place spot back. How long? Doesn't look like it's going to be too long. It seems that Jack Rowe goes to the inside. They're still side by side through the carousel. And on the exit, Blue Gen seemed to have hit the wall a little bit there. That's going to be very costly towards him. Boy, that was a lot of lag. Blue Gen might be able to make a little bit of ground. What are they saying? Anyways, back up there, side by side once again. Blue Gen, or Jack Rowe at the second place spot, but only for a bit there. Gets a little bit of ground. What about the exit up to the carousel? Jack Rowe gets a little loose. Blue Gen carrying a little more energy potentially here. Might get a good run up to the hairpin. And I'm currently seeing stop motion racing at the current time being. There's Blue Gen. Falling a little bit back there. You can see once again Matt's in 9th. Spinning out again. I wonder how many times that's been. Blue Gen making up a little more ground up to the carousel. As they're in general making up ground. Performance, of course, still dominating the race. Blue Gen getting potentially a run. Not too much of a run. They're about even here coming into the chicane though. As Jack, decent looking line there. Same with Blue. Just having to check stuff as I go. And it's still tail on tail action between Blue Gen, Jack Rowe, side by side into the club section up the curb. Blue Gen on this outside, Jack Rowe inside, crossing over into the carousel. And they still maintain their side by side formation. Blue Gen seeming to peek out a little bit more than Jack Rowe. How long is that going to last? Jack Rowe to the inside, Blue Gen getting overtaken. And I'm going to have to reset Matt's. We're back into the action. Jack Rowe back in front. And Blue Gen with a really good run up for Rouge once again, back up to the point. Two of them just cannot get away from each other. As Jack looks up towards the outside, trying to seemingly almost like he's taking the same line, goes up towards inside through the carousel. They cross over. Blue Gen back up to second place. How long it's going to be though? I see a little bit of a screen freeze. They're still side by side coming into the hairpin. And then now coming down the hairpin, you can see East there. Once again, a lap down, they go side by side. Going down the back straightaway up to the chicane. Jack Rowe with a good run, but it's not going to last long as Blue Gen sweeps him up through the inside and gets the move. For now, they're still side by side for a bit though. Jack Rowe trying to make any space he can, being as aggressive as possible, getting to those sausage curbs. And he's quite literally bouncing up them like ramps. They gotta do what they gotta do to make room or make speed. Blue Gen seeming to get a good run up on Jack Rowe, gets loose, and that's not gonna be good for him whatsoever. And that space him out just a bit. Blue Gen really loose. He's gonna lose a lot of ground there as he keeps on going. Not quite completely out of reach, although we are starting to lose a little bit of ground. Blue Gen now once again off. You can see now about a whole straightaway separating the two. The Jack Pro now his only target, at least for now, that he needs to worry about really has to be performance. Blue Gen now about 4 seconds off. You'd have to take him making mistakes or Blue to push his hardest if he wants to get back up. So far, it seems like most of the battling is split apart from each other, unless East is actually about to make up a move potentially with Sonic for the 7th place spot there. Arsnetta on her own, going back to Jack Pro. You can see Performance Engineer caught that, got a little loose, and kept it rolling without any issue. And the current battle seems to be for 7th place between East 951 and Sonic. As East is going to get it loose, saves it. Inching closer and closer to Fox. Oh, that's a bad one for East. Is going to roll it, and he's going to lose his run he had. Right, anyways, back to where we were. You can see Arsnetta about to be overlapped by Performance here. But you can see Performance biking it, 2 wheels off. This track sausage curbs are notoriously volatile, and if you touch them the wrong way, they could put you in a world of trouble. We'll look back to see if there's anything between Blue Gen and Jackro. Seems like these two are starting to develop stuff once again. About 2 seconds separating the two of them. As there's another lap down for Matt. Must not be the best night for him. There's a lot of things that need to be kinked out. Jack Crow now making his way into another lap. You can see Blue Gen not quite closing the gap, actually. It looks like he's lost some time. They gained onto him. Oh! I don't know what that was, but it looks like Jack Crow just about screwed up something. Probably spun out. And he's back into 3rd place. Within close range proximity of Blue Gen, though. As we look at the timing boards, still no faster laps yet. I'd like to take the time potentially to bring up our current advertisements. We are, of course, presented by Edit Ninja on YouTube, FRWC Formula Racing World Championship. Give it a look, link in the description. And actually, Jack Pro, maybe not the best time for it, but if you look at Jack Pro right here, this is his team, Monarch Racing. And I would say that car surely does look like it does belong to royalty. I'd like to present Enderthalz, another YouTuber, and a good person that's helped us a little bit out in the past. And of course, Forza Racing League. As your short, brief commercial break, we're going back straight to the action. As East 951 seemingly is starting to make up a little bit more ground again. You can also see Perf in the background as Twin is joined. Unfortunately for all of those, it appears it's a little bit too late to get into the action. Not to worry though, there will be more events in the future, and there might be another one of these later on in the summer if it goes well enough. And I mean, one of these is in one of these exact races with these exact cars. Maybe a little up-tuned, a little fixed, but these cars. As you can see, Performance Engineer dominating the field as East is cashing up ground on Sonic Gen for the 7th place spot. There's a little bit of a flick of the wrist and a little bit of a save. As there you can see Sonic tailed by East, tailed by Perf, and tailed even more so by Bats. Perf going to slide through to overlap East for, I believe, his third time. Well, the two of them are both going to get loose there. You see the battle between Jack Crows resumed. Jack Crow not too far behind from Blue. Looks like he's cut a little bit of ground. It's now about 2 seconds. Seconds now, the gap between the two of them. East seemingly slowing down quite a bit. As you can now see behind East, it's Blue Gen and Real and Jack Crow. That's a little off-track moment, I'd say, for him. Gotta give Max the credit for determination, as once again sliding to second. We see Jack, but not for long. Blue with a really good exit down the back straightaway, side by side for a brief moment into the chicane. Here they go. More battling on the way between these two. Jack Crow's going to yield just for the moment, coming into the last turn. As it goes side by side once again up to the point, it is going to be still side by side. Blue Gen back up, and then Jack in third. Still side by side coming up to the carousel. The carousel looks still like they cannot escape from each other. Blue Gen taps the wall just a bit, losing a bit of speed over to Jack. Jack loose. Now through the hairpin they go. As it looks like Jack has a slightly worse exit than Blue, as they're going to approach side-by-side action up to the chicane. Now coming in and out of the chicane, it's going to be still side-by-side. I think by the line it might just about be Jack. But that's not going to be much. Jack in a little bit of air, a little bit of a wheelie pop there. As the two of them going side by side through Faux Rouge. We've already gone past the halfway point now. As Jack gets a little loose coming into the through to the carousel, loses speed. Blue Gen loses speed going wide. They're still side by side as Jack is back. Now through the hairpin, it looks like Blue Gen peeking over a little bit as much as he can. Can't quite get away from Jack's exit. Seems like his exit is really good. Now through the chicane, you see Fox on once again another lap down. Ooh, a little gnarly action there for Jacko. He bikes his car, a little bit of a drift, losing speed to Blue. As Blue coming up like a, I'm not going to say that, but he's coming in fast. And especially after Jacko gets a little bit loose, they're nearly approaching once again more side-by-side action. Blue Gen peeks over to his inside, drifts to the outside, and Jack is back up through the inside and gets the move to the exit, although Blue Gen with a slightly faster looking exit than him, carrying a little more speed into the chicane. Jack Crow going as hard as he can through the chicane, dumps the exit, not as hard as Blue. Jack Crow with a little bit of a save there. Blue Gen going to capitalize on it into the first turn. They're still side by side, coming to Faux Rouge. Blue Gen looking at the front of it. Jack Crow looking up to his left side, dives into his inside, now gets the move right by him. Blue Gen looking up to his inside, thrown to the outside, through the carousel. As the two of them still battling out, right at each other. Jack Crow's going to stay in third for the moment, but not for long. Tries to make a move. Cannot stick too far. Blue Gen tries to get a better answer. They go side by side, coming up to the chicane. Next time by will be only 20 laps to go. Fuel might be of concern. Jack Crow seemingly a little bit ahead of Blue. Blue looking up towards its outside, peeking up through. And Jack will tap the wall, losing a little bit of speed. Blue Gen's going to slide through. Great move by Blue to keep his car going. But a great recovery by Jack already by Blue as he's picking up once again towards his inside. Blue really wide, almost at the wall, losing speed. Keeps it rolling, and it's a really high drift. That was about Tokyo drift levels of sideways. As it looks like Jack Pro kind of messed his exit of the hairpin up. Blue Gen back up to second. Question is for how long that's going to be, of course. Jack Pro getting a little bit loose off the sausage skirts once again. And he hops once more. Bit of a wall smack, that's okay. You can see Blue Gen over the crest already. Jack Pro at least 2 seconds behind and probably gaining. So far, the gap between most people has kind of been spread out. We're going to go back to Perf. Watching Perf. He's been dominating this race. He's been dominating this entire race track, in fact. And this is quite possibly, if I recall, his first race weekend. So with very little experience on the track itself, I don't think he even really wanted to race this track. He's just been dominating every single race. He's been driving it better than some of the masters, some of the regulars at this track. Just completely dominating them. I have some wonders about the implications this may mean in the future for Perf. He's already 20 seconds ahead of Blue Sonic Gen. Yes. Looking over at Blue, make sure everything looks good. Jack Pro with a pretty sizable gap of Blue there. You can just barely see him at the end of the chicane. Lewis Engineer making his way through the carousel. And now down through to the hairpin. Nice and solid. I don't think there's too many battles going on. So I guess I could spend the time to talk about these cars and the development of the cars while we're at it. See, these cars were not exactly easy to make. We had other cars with a very frustrating tune. I tried to fix it with these. They did drive great, but for whatever reason, they seem to have a lot of issues that need to be worked out. And it was hard to get this car to work. But I'm glad that we finally got something to somewhat work, and it is at least semi-raceable. Albeit frustrating. It looks like Blue Gen, not much change with the gap, although Jack Grove's starting to gain a little bit of that gap back. As he's starting to barely home in. You can see Air's now getting overtaken. Kind of peaceful almost as soon as he's out. Give him the silence. I'm gonna back off for a second until any action pops up. And until then, enjoy the noise. car over. Smoke cloud there. It's a loose one for Perf, but he does save that one. Fantastic save by performance engineer. The stop as Matt's. This stop's definitely will probably be a necessity at some point. I hope that's good enough. Still a bit of a captain. Probably good one now. As it is a little bit of a ballet type of little performance. Saves everything from popping and opening as it rolls into 10 laps to go. Purely the style points in mind. And actually, performance engineer, looking at the times, I don't know when he set this, but a 46.357, that is literally what we used to set in the GT3 cars like a year, like 2 years ago. These guys, oh, this guy's moving really fast. Of course, you saw what he did with the GT3 cars. He took them below even the 43s, which, I mean, only 2 years ago we thought it was impossible to do anything under a 45, let alone a 44, let alone a 43 set by Jacko last year, and now this guy truly has done the impossible with the GT3s. He got a sub 43 second lap time. Albeit there is more friction on this track now than there was then, but only subtly. And I don't even think it would have affected a second or two. It probably would have. Looking at Jacko, I mean, he was going like the same time as he was last year, last week's Grand Prix. Absolute dominance in absolute dominant fashion by performance engineer. His name is very fitting. Sorry, Jen, still within a reasonable gap should he have any sort of quarrels like crashing. Although I think the circumstances are pretty unlikely to happen. But I don't want to jinx it, but the afternoon on this quite a bit margin, even a big one between Jacko. Some laps to go. guy's going to do this entire weekend. His car is usually focused on Forza's different. It's almost like the wax sort of gets something away. Went from like laggy to everything is moving almost fluidly. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna end like this. I hope it doesn't end this way. I hope it doesn't end. Excuse me. Horrible. That's been saved by the performance engineer keeping that thing under control. Setting better laps so it's not. One of those tires are now starting to die off somewhere. There's now coming 5 laps to go. Barely missed the wall there. Hard bears meta. It's back through. Got that thing 90 degrees and kept it going. Yeah, okay, so this side's starting to look like they're almost at the first line. It's got such a big gap that it almost doesn't matter in a way. It just seems like Vision might be closing in little by little. It might be a little bit too out of range unless something happens to her. I think honestly Purpose One, he's a very fast driver, but out of all people dominating, I wasn't expecting him to dominate this company. You know, it's good drivers like that, it's really just out of nowhere, just suddenly outside, just completely dominate, bites it. Yeah, officially free to go. As I said, the last lap. I just should this time this year, it's really starting to close in on him. I don't think I've really seen any improved laps. Did lose a little time there. Touge not seeing too much. I don't really notice him being faster. Tires might actually be somewhat dying. Just about to do a complete sweep on every single credits race, i.e. races still getting paid. White flag now going to come in the air, he nearly spins out. He does save it. He's going to go up and throw loose one more time through the club sector. Club sector all the way up to the carousel. Got gotta go through this little bumpy section just one more time. It's always gonna be a little technical. Nobody. That goes way through the hairpin. And now through the back straightaway one last time up to the chicane. Bounces up the curve, beautiful fashion. What a way to close. I wouldn't say it's the closer of the week, but it's the closer of everything. He spun out. And you can see Blue Gen potentially closing in, but he still has enough of a gap where he can roll in. Blue Gen going to just get second by 5.5 seconds. That probably was very scary for him to see people closing it in. That order. Only 3 people finished on lead lap. You got Performance Engineer, Domination, Blue Sonic Jet, Jack Pro PC, Gen Wolfie, Aris Netta 2 laps down, as well as Minecraft or Ryo, Plot Sonic. I swear this motherfucker. Of course, coming up to your first one is going to be the right PC to do this in. A little laggy, but what's this one do? Alcohol. Just watch the water. Put it together. Commence the WTRC feature, we have one more rotocourse feature before we finish up with a little bit of Autocross on Sunday. We will also do a race on Tuesday on the Dirt Oval. You might be asking what's going on Monday. Well, we decided to take the day off to celebrate the actual 4th of July. It will probably be a game night though, organized in the SLC server. Big thanks to WTRC for coming here in time. I think that was a great race. A little lackluster towards the end, and I honestly feel like that was my own fault as a person helping setting up the cars, but we will try better, and I hope this might leave a good impact on WTRC. If you guys want to find out about more of this league and Jack Bro's team, Monarch Race Team, just look over in the links. You'll find the information. You look up for WTRC. They're going to be organizing these cars to race, or something at least similar to that. So if you're interested in racing 1960s F1 cars, this is one of the places to go. They also do a lot of other stuff, although it varies by year to year. So that should finish up everything. Thank you guys for watching. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to watch the Group C cars with the Historic Race.